part 2. So now I'm still slicing from this cane that we made. I'm going to set these to the side. Okay. And now onto this scrap sheet. We can just start laying these pieces out. And there is absolutely no wrong or right way to do this. You just kind of want to cover up the scrap piece. Okay. I go over this with my roller. And then one step further through my pasta machine on the widest setting. And once it goes through the pasta machine, you'll get something like this. And this is the fun part. You get to pick where you want your heart to be, which part of the sheet looks the coolest. Where do you want it to be? I mean, you could get a bunch of hearts out of this. Let's see, the part that I like the best is right down here. I like how it's got a lot of that deep blue in there. So I'm going to go ahead and use this and just cut. That's going to be my heart right there. And keep this because you can make more. Okay. The next step. Okay. I'm going to show you, I have a few others cut that I cut previously. So I'll show you making, 3 of these at one time. And these are other hearts that I made from another sheet that I had done. So the first step is we want to get the jump rings in. You could do, like I said, this is optional. You don't have to do this part. If you don't do this part, you really don't need these 2 layers. You would, just use one, I think, would be fine. But this is how I like to do it. Okay, let's make sure. Let's put these down a little bit so I can show you. Press it down into one of them. And take your other one. And you're sandwiching that part 3. I've just added the jump rings, and I'm laying the Mokumigane hearts on top. At this point, you could actually just bake this, and that would be a beautiful heart. Hoping you can see it well enough. You could see how this one, there's some little imperfections in the clay, and that is totally okay by me. Okay. And last, the third one. I try to spend a little bit of time at this point to kind of press the edges, smooth them. I do most of it with my fingers. with the wet dry sandpaper, you'll end up, you know, finishing up a little more, but I like to kind of do the finishing as I go to try to make them look as nice as possible. See, and these have 3 layers, and you don't really have to do 3 layers. You can do 2 layers, you know. You can do more if you want. Okay, so at this point we now have, oops, the 3 hearts. Now we're going to add the glimmer and glam. For this part, we're going to need some iridescent flakes, some opal lights, some mica lights, and I'm also going to use some more gold leaf and some of this ultra fine glitter. And I didn't use it in the one before, but I think I'm also going to try a little bit of this gold glitter. Now this is actually embossing powder, but it's got this beautiful glittery powder. Okay, so the glimmer and glam part. I just take little bits. I get some gold leaf. Part 4. I've rolled out the sheet of translucent, and I've rolled it again with my roller. You want to make sure that you condition the clay as well as possible, because one thing with the translucent is it will show plaques, like little bitty pieces. I'm not too concerned about it, because for me it gives a more natural look, you know, more like stone or glass. I like it. So you roll it out with your pasta machine and then the roller, and then you cut your cutter. And what I do is I just lift the excess clay from around the cutter. Okay. And then you have clear piece. This is probably the most difficult part, I would say. Use your blade. And this piece right here needs to be as thin as you can possibly get it. This one may even be too thick yet. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press it more with my fingers. Because again, I want it to be very thin. Because the thinner it is, the more glass-like your finished product is going to be. Okay, I'm just pinching it. You don't want to tear it. When you're done, you lay it on top of the heart. Now, I think we're at part 5. Anyways, I'm just continuing to smooth this. We're almost done. most time-consuming part is this right here. You need to spend as much time as you can smoothing this out and making sure that it's well adhered.